Zilera God's favor. So over the past 4 weeks, we've learned how to build and solve problems with Excel. You've learned how to create projects, you've learned how to document them, and you've also shared your work online. And today we are ending this bootcamp. We are here to celebrate how far you've come. We are here to celebrate your progress. So this is me saying well done to everybody, and I am very happy and glad that you made it to the very end of the program. And the theme of today's event is building with data, crafting stories that drive real impact. And this is our agenda for today. Please hold on, let me move this stuff here. Okay. So first, we have our welcome address by our founder, introduction to CRF and Nexo Girls. We are going to have a quick recap, a keynote session by our speaker. Then we are going to have participants' reflections, and then we have this group photo. So during this group photo, we are going to turn on our cameras so that we can take a group photo. So please be prepared. Sorry, please let me hold on. There's something in the chat box. Okay. Hold on. Where is my slide? Okay, yes. So welcome. This is me, the facilitator and mentor for your program. So we're going to have a quick welcome address by our founder, Eunice. So she's going to turn on a camera and welcome us to today's event. Hi, Eunice. Can you hear me?
Hello, Possible. Yes, I can hear you. Yeah, thank you very much. Hello, everyone. Good evening. It's a great privilege to be here today and also to welcome all of you to the closing event of the first ever Dash and Tell Bootcamp. So when we're thinking about Dash and Tell Bootcamp, your cohort is the very first cohort of this bootcamp. And you know, something that I did before coming here today, I went to Gemini and I went to ask, what is Dash and Tell Bootcamp? And it brought it out. It brought every single detail out, including that this is the very first ever edition of the Data Bootcamp and Nexo Girls. So you all have made a mark in our organization and we are happy to have you. To everyone who has participated, I've been following through your journey from week 1 to week 4 to week 5 when you were working on your capstone project. It's an amazing journey, and I feel so proud of each and every single one of you, despite your schedules. Some of you are in school, some of you are working, but still you still made an effort to make sure that you complete your task and do your assignments and to attend classes. Thank you very much. And now you are graduating as data storytellers, and we cannot be more proud of you guys. You came to us with a passion to learn, and in just 4 weeks, you've learned how to turn numbers into simple stories, you know, using Excel dashboards. I saw each single dashboard that was created by every participant, and I was so amazed at the amount of work and intentionality that each of you put into that. You know, you've learned how to document your work on GitHub, data science portfolio, on different platforms, even Medium. And that is a very important skill that many people do not have. So it's a great skill that you should continue to even utilize after the bootcamp at Nexo Girls. So this is a big achievement. You've built a project that you can be proud of, you know, a project that you can show to anyone to say, yay, I attended or I participated in Dash and Tell Bootcamp. And it's beyond just the certificate, right? The goal is the knowledge, and that is what you're graduating with here today. The certificate is just a proof to show that, yes, you participated, but even your project is more than the proof. So as you leave here today, as you conclude the bootcamp today, please know that this is just the very beginning. There's still a lot that you need to learn to be very skillful in Excel, to know your way around Excel usage, you know. And the world needs people like you. The world needs people that can make sense of data. right? I myself am into machine learning, so I understand the significance of data and interpretation of data, right? So use these skills that you have learned here today to find new opportunities, to grow your careers, and to make a difference. And also stay with us in the community, because we'll be sharing more opportunities. And some of you all of you, can attest to the fact that even during the bootcamp, you've seen opportunities that we've shared, like data analyst and analyst internship, various data programs. Even your facilitator shared a community on X that you can join for data engineers. So please make sure to stay in the community, stay tuned, follow us on our social media pages for opportunities that can help you grow and upskill. And a big thank you to God's Favor, your facilitator for the Dash and Tell Bootcamp. She did this as part of our volunteer big projects, from volunteering with Nexo Girls for 1 year. And she has definitely made a mark in the organization. When we look back to the volunteer cohort of our tenure, we can say, yes, God's favor these days. And thank you so much, God's favor. The Lord bless you. And your dedication is why we are here. It's your passion for data that made us all to be here today. And to everyone, to our speakers, to everyone that has joined us in this journey of the bootcamp, thank you so much. Thank you so much. We are very excited to have you, and we hope that you will stay with us as well. And even in future editions, you'll be available for us to reach out to. To all participants, congratulations again on a job well done. We believe in you, and we cannot wait to see the amazing things that you will do, right? I've been going through some of the LinkedIn posts that you guys make, the one on X, and the way you guys put in stories, like the captions, they make one so emotional, right? So I can't wait to see we'll keep tabs on every participant. We want to see you grow. So we are looking forward to your posts, to your announcements. Hey, I did this. Oh, after the bootcamp, this has been my progress, right? We want to see it. So make sure to flaunt your certificates when you get it. Make sure to flaunt your project. Make sure to flaunt your skills on social media, because social media is a good mine, right? And we need to make sure that we exploit. Thank you so much again for having me. I'm going to hand over now to God's favor.
Thank you so much, Eunice. So that was a welcome. Sorry, let me turn on my camera and share my screen. So that was a welcome address from the founder of Nexo Girls. Hold on, please, while I share my screen and tell screen. Please let me know if you can see my screen. Can you guys see my screen? Okay.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. So you're going to go to the next thing on our agenda, which is why this theme is important. So in today's world, we are surrounded by data, but without a story behind the data. Data is just numbers. What makes us good data analysts isn't just knowing how to use tools, but it's our ability to turn this data into powerful stories. Stories that help people understand, stories that help people understand what is happening, stories that help people understand, feel why it matters, and act on what needs to change. So beyond our Excel skills, we are here today to focus on something even more important: learning how to communicate insights in a way that drives real impact. Because it's not just about the charts or the formulas, it's about what the data is telling us and how we can use this data, the story behind this data, to make a difference. So let's have a recap. Now, the Dash and Tell Bootcamp is a 4-week beginner-friendly bootcamp that was designed to help participants build, document, and share their first data analysis projects. So far, so good. Participants have learned how to clean, analyze, and visualize data using Excel, how to build a simple and insightful dashboard, how to document findings in a report. And the highlight of this program is having practical interactive learning sessions, personalized feedback for every completed project, and certificates will be awarded to participants who attended sessions and completed their task. And we've also shared resources to help you beyond this bootcamp. So this brings us to our speaker session. But before we go into her bio, I want to say how grateful and how honored I am that Tina Okonkwo is here today. She's one of the people doing great things in the data space. She has created opportunities and she's making it easier for people to learn data analytics. She's creating content, she's organizing boot camps, mentorship programs, which I am part of. And as you listen to her today, I want you to think of how you can apply what she's saying to your own journey. And if you have any questions, please put them in the chat box. So now let's get into her bio. Tina Okonkwo is an award-winning data analyst with a strong passion for data storytelling. She uses data to drive business decisions. She has a background in mathematics and a keen eye for problem solving. She's very vocal about leveraging data-driven strategies to optimize decision-making across various industries. Alongside her role as a technical community manager at Jada Squad, she's currently serving as the community manager for Data Community Africa. She's helping beginners transition into the field of data. Beyond her corporate engagement, she's a digital creator, a data analytics tutor, and she has trained over 2,000 individuals in data analytics tools and concepts. Her dedication extends to publishing multiple articles, focusing on initiating careers in data analytics. Her impact has been recognized through features in notable platforms like Tech About, Vanguard, Ventures Africa, Data Camp, and Ingressive for Good. So you see, when I said she's one of the people doing great things in the data space, now you can see what I am talking about. So please, let's give her a warm welcome. Hi, Tina. Can you hear me? Hi, Tina. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to, she was on the call earlier on. Hold on, let me reach out to her, please. Okay, so I think she said she just sent me a message that she had to go. Her manager called her, but she's going to be back. So let's move on to the next thing. While we're waiting for her, let's move up to the next thing we have on our agenda. So we're going to have a mini participant capstone showcase. And these participants here are going to be sharing their capstone project with us and telling us about their work. So we have 5 minutes for each participant to share their project, their slides, their project. Oh, sorry. So 5 minutes for each participant. So I'm going to be calling on Tosin first, then we have Uchi, then we have Mary, then we have Rosemary, and then we have Joseph. I hope they are on the call. Hi, Tosin, can you hear me?
Good evening. Can you hear me?
Yes, so I'm going to give you, can you share your screen, or do you want me to share my screen for you?
Let me see if I can.
Okay.
Can you see my screen?
Mm,
Can you see it?
hold on, let me stop sharing. Yes, I can. Yes, I can.
Okay. So I can start, right?
Yes, but you need to make it big. There's like
Oh, yeah, there
there's a
is
way.
a,
Yes, yes. Okay. So I'm going to mute my mic so you can present. Please, you have 5 minutes.
okay, thank you. Good evening, everyone. My name is Oluwatosin Agbaje. So if at any point you cannot hear what I'm saying, kindly let me know. So for my project, I dealt with a sales data for a coffee shop. So it's a coffee shop sales for the March 2024 to March 2025. And so this is my introduction. Is I'm coming. Okay. What did I do? Can you still see my screen?
Yes.
Yes, you can.
Uh, I'm sorry. Um,
Do you need me to share my screen for you?
yeah, please. I can't even I can't see it from here. I don't know what I pressed. I think I took it off.
Okay, stop sharing. So I'll share my screen for you.
Okay. Okay, thank you very much. So the project was about a coffee shop sales for the month of March 2024 to March 2025. Next slide, please. Okay, so the introduction. The aim of the project was to uncover trends and patterns in how customers purchased certain kinds of coffee types. So the goal was to identify the products that customers preferred the most, the peak sales period, like what time do customers come into the store to get coffee? Is it in the mornings, was it in the night, or in the afternoon? And what day of the week did they have the most sales? Was it Tuesdays or Wednesdays? And we also looked at trends over the month also. And we also, the project also I looked at what payment methods customers preferred using to pay for their coffee. So I was able to, by visualizing the data, I was able to provide insights into how the business can better make business decisions that can grow their revenue, that can also help them when they are planning inventory and when staffing and marketing also. So the problem statement is the coffee shop lacked visibility into its sales, performance across different product types, time periods, and customer behaviors. And without this insight, it was difficult for them to optimize their stock level, how to schedule time for their staff, their availability for their operation periods, and also how to plan their promotional efforts. So the analysis was aimed to uncover what was actually driving their sales and help them make data-driven decisions. Next slide, please. So the purpose of the analysis was to analyze sales data and uncover key performance patterns across product types, times of day, and weekdays, helping the coffee shop boost its revenue. So we wanted to know at what time of the day, what product type they liked. So what was boosting their revenue. Next slide, favor. So what tools and data did I use? The tool used was Microsoft Excel, and the data was a 12-month sales data, including we can see from the slide, That data had the date of the transaction, the date time of the transaction, which was at what time exactly. Was it 10:15? Was it 12:19? Was it 1 p.m., 2 p.m.? At what time of the day exactly did the customer come to purchase that product? The hour of the day, 10, 12 meant maybe 12 in the afternoon, 12, anything from 12:01 to 12:59 was 12 was the hour of the day. Then we have the cash type, which included card and cash. Then the card number for those that used card to make payments. Then we have money, which is the money paid for each coffee type. Then we have the coffee name, which was that the specific type of coffee the customer got. Was it latte? Was it Americano? Was it cappuccino? So whichever one they got. Then the column H has the time of day. Was it morning? Was it afternoon? Or was it in the night? Then we have weekday, Monday, Friday, Tuesday. Which day of the week did they come? And we have month name also. Which month was that purchase made? Was it March, April, and so on like that? So that was the data set. That was the column that the data set contained that I used to perform this analysis. Next slide, favor. So what did I do with the data? Firstly, I cleaned the data. I was able to remove blanks. I ensured that every column had the correct formatting. The date and time was formatted correctly. The coffees were in the right categories. The time and the weekday, everything was in its right format. Then I built dashboard with the information I had using pivot tables, charts, and slicers. So here is the dashboard from the analysis. From the dashboard, we can see that for the first chart, we have sales by coffee type. From this dashboard, we can see that the latte type of coffee was the one that sold the most, and it had $27 plus in sales, followed by Americano with milk, then followed by cappuccino, Americano, hot chocolate, cocoa, cortado, and espresso. We can see that the espresso had the least sales for all the types of coffee. And for sales trend by month, the chart shows that the month of March had the highest sales compared to other months in the year. Then sales by cash type, the chart also shows us that the customers prefer to pay with their card compared to paying with cash. I think everywhere people don't really carry cash around. So I think that was to be expected, that card was the major source of, was the payment method that people preferred the most. Next, we have top hour of day by sales. The 10th hour, which means like 10 a.m., was the hour that had the most sales, like throughout the year. That was the hour that had the most sales, followed by the 16th hour, which is 4 p.m., followed by the 11th hour, 19th hour, 17th, and 15th hour. Then next, we have sales by weekday. This chart shows that Tuesday was the day of the week that had the most sales, followed by Monday, Friday, Thursday, Wednesday, and lastly, we have Saturday and Sunday. I think that is understandable because that is the weekend. People don't go to work. People have less things to do, so they most likely will not be interested in coffee. They are home most of the time. And lastly, we have total sales by time of day. This shows that the night had the highest, at the highest time that people bought coffee. The night has the highest time, then followed by the afternoon, and lastly, we have the mornings. And I think for the morning, I don't know how I would have thought that the morning would be the most times that people bought coffee, but from this data, it shows that the night was the time that people bought coffee the most. So that's what data does. What we think it is might not actually be what it is. So for our KPIs, we have total sales revenue, $115 plus $115,433. Then total number of transactions was 3,636, and the average transaction value for all the coffees that were bought was $31.75. And the best performing coffee type was the latte. And we have our slicer. So if you want to filter by maybe day of the week or time of day or month of the year to see how we can also use the slicers to see how we can interact with the dashboard with the slicers here to know what the sales are with maybe specific week of the day of the week or month in the year. Next slide, please. So key insights, I think like I've mentioned the key insights when I was looking at the dashboard. The top coffee type was latte. It sold $27. The highest payment method was the card payment method, and the month of March had the highest sales. Then the best time of day for sales was the night and also the afternoon. The night and the afternoon, they had close percentages, like they were just they had just a little disparity, like very fine data, so we cannot neglect it, but they were close in range, followed by the morning. Then top day of the week for sales was Tuesdays. I wouldn't know why, but Tuesday appears to be the day that people were interested more in coffee. Though other days were also people, they sold coffees, but Tuesday happened to be the day that people bought coffees the most. So that's the key insight from that data. And like I've said when I was looking at the dashboard. Next slide, please, favor. So what will be the recommendation for this coffee shop? Number one, inventory management. Since we know that a specific type of coffee performs better than every other one, so it makes more sense to plan more inventory for that kind of coffee instead of stocking up on the coffee that doesn't do well because we don't know what our data is saying. But now that we know what data says, we know that latte performs more than every other type of coffee, and we would not want to stock up on cappuccino, which is the least performing coffee type. So that will help them to make better decisions when they are planning their inventory. Then improve the best-selling coffee type. Since we know the best-selling coffee type, we should make sure that the quality of that coffee doesn't reduce. And if there's a way to also improve its quality, it should also be looked into. But most importantly, the quality must not be reduced. You can maintain the quality, but it should not be reduced. And if we can also offer variations for that kind of coffee, it could also be welcomed. Then number three recommendation will be that to leverage peak hour of the day. If we know the peak hour of day that people come to buy coffee, we can plan staffing around that time. It's not that when we have more people, then we have less staff. Since we know that in the morning 10 a.m., in the evening 4 p.m., in the night around 7 p.m., we have more people that come to get coffee. So we should it's be best for the coffee shop to plan that they have more hands on deck to attend to customers so that the amount of wait time for each customer is reduced, and also they are able to attend to more customers during that time. Then number four recommendation will be that to support for low performing coffee type. I wouldn't know why customers would not like that kind of coffee, but if they can carry out a survey to know reasons why customers don't like that coffee, and if it's something that they can work on, then they should be able to work on it. And my final recommendation would be to introduce a complimentary menu. And we know that yes, everybody likes coffee, but sometimes you want coffee with something else. So they could introduce maybe cake or pastries. I think it's common for coffee shops to like offer these things. It also opens up the shop to new customers and more sales overall. Next slide, please. Then in conclusion, like I have said, to improve their sales, the coffee shop should maintain or improve the quality of their best sold coffee types, introduce complimentary menu, give incentives to their returning customers. They could do something like if you get coffee in our shop maybe 20 times, you are entitled to maybe a free cup of coffee the next time you come after you've collected your coupon. They do things like that. So that could also be introduced also. Then they should invest in marketing, like it's a coffee shop. Social media marketing is for everybody. Everybody should advertise on social media. Then subsequently, they should get a feedback data from their customers about their products, and they should understand why customers prefer the kind of products that they go for. So I think that is it for the coffee, for the project. Next slide. So after the bootcamp, what next? Next slide, Phil. Okay. So what next after the bootcamp? Fine. We are here to know more about data. So the vision is to be a data analyst who helps businesses and organizations make sense of their data and provide data-driven solutions. So the mission will be continuous learning. For me, it's going to be continuous learning, starting with SQL and Power BI. That's number one. Then number two will be with the current knowledge I have, and I've been able to build a project. So continuous working on data projects so that I gain more knowledge into other areas of data. And lastly will be collaboration with others on data projects to increase my knowledge. So that's it. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Tosi. That was I love the way I love your presentation. I love that you were able to explain your process
Thank
and
you.
everything. Well done, well done. So while we are still waiting for our speaker, we are going to call on the next person. I'm going to stop sharing. I think the next person is Uche. Hi, Uche. Can you unmute?
Oh, hello, Constable. I'm
Yeah.
here.
Okay, so can you share your screen, or do you need me to share your screen for you?
Please, can you help me and do that? I would prefer
Okay.
you do that for me.
Okay.
Hello?
Yeah, so you can start now, Uche. Can you see my screen?
Not yet.
Okay, can you see it now?
It's coming up. Okay. Thank you.
Okay, you can start now.
Before I start, I just want to thank you, God's favor, and I also want to thank the facilitators and the coordinators, every other person who is involved in this boot camp in one way or the other. I want to thank you all for making our journey into data analytics easier and worthwhile. Thank you so much. So the data I worked on is FMCG sales. In our world today, we all invest in food, and FMCG is basically fast-moving consumer goods. Those things we buy often, we always go to supermarket to buy them because they are our basic daily needs. So, we always invest in it one way or the other as a human being. You invest in fast-moving consumer. Like you can say, okay, there are some things I don't eat, but consumer goods are goods that you buy every single time. You always need them. So in my introduction, I say this project focuses on analyzing FMG sales data to uncover key trends in product performance, sales and timing, and product profitability by location. So it's about knowing products and where they make more sense. And every business objective is to make sales, and at the end of the day, and also make customers, satisfy customers. So the owner of the business makes sales, whereas the customers who come to buy and get satisfied. So it's just a matter of to what is going to make more profit for the owner of the business, whereas the customers get satisfaction. So we'll get to the next slide, which is problem statement. The FMCG industry generates large volume of sales that are across multiple product categories and store locations and time periods. However, decision makers often lack clear insight into which products perform best, which locations are more profitable, and when sales period peak. This project aims to analyze FMG sales data to identify top performing products, profitable store locations, and sales trends by day and month, and helping the business make data-driven decisions for better inventory planning and marketing. Like I said, business is all about profit. So, but this one is going to help us to know the times of the week when sales are supposed to peak, with time of the week, and most products with that perform better than other ones. So that's the essence of this, and to know that there are so many categories in FMCG goods. You have categories like food, beverages. You have categories like personal care and cosmetics. You have like daily needs, house needs. So it's going to tell us the product category, which part of the category that performs better, that people invest more money on to buy, and which one that generates more profit for the owners, for the stakeholders than other ones. So we'll go to the objectives of this analysis. To identify top-selling products, just like I said, product categories and their profitability, understand customer behavior and sales trend, evaluate sales and performance across weekdays and months, measure the effectiveness of promotions, analyze the contributions of each store to overall sales and profitability. You identify the places, the product that sells better and generate more profit. Like I said, it's about profit. Understand the customer behavior and say the ones that trends, the times that customers prefer to come and buy, or the times that the product they prepare. Evaluate sales performance, the performance of each sale during time or months or weeks, and also measure the effectiveness of promotion. Like, okay, when you say the promotions are on this product, like you say, okay, buy one get 10 free, buy 10 and get one free, and all those kind of promotions. So you analyze the contribution of each store location to the overall sales and profit of FMCG sector. So we want to talk about the tools I use. Everything I use for this analysis is Excel, Microsoft Excel. The data set was downloaded from Cargo and retail sales covering data product category. That data set, I'm trying to explain what the data set is about. You have rows like retail sales, you have data, you have product category, you have sales, you have profit, you have store location, you have time. And then the documentation processes I took were Medium, GitHub, data science, and portfolio. These are the places that I documented and also posted on my LinkedIn page. So these are the data, the tools I used, and the documentation processes that were carried out. Please, the next slide, please. Thank you. So what did I do? Because there were some missing values, I had to use this thing to eliminate these missing rows and adjust inconsistent date formats and duplicate entries, make sure I took care of them. Then actions I took were I converted the data set into a table for proper pivot table optimization. What we do, what we're taught, and how to put it into a table. I cleaned the data and standardized everything in such a way that it would be easier for me to prepare my pivot table. I created and calculated fields like profit, because there were no profit table there. There were one row that is about sales volume, and the other row that is about stock price. So I had to create out of those two rows, create the profit row. And then I created the ensured correct data types for visualization. And I also created extra column for weekdays and months because they were not there. So I also created data set weekdays and months. So we'll now go to the next one, which is our dashboard. Okay, so like I said, the dashboard is about FMCG sales performance dashboard. Like I have in the dashboard, you see that the beverage performed best, is the best selling product on my list. The beverage is the best selling product on my list. And in this case, times like January or December tends to have higher sales in sales trend when people buy more of fast moving consumer goods. Like, when people are preparing for anything, maybe like Christmas or holidays, they tend to buy, like even towards the early of the day when people are preparing to stock up their life, because I believe that this data set was in the Western world where they have the snow. So if you check very well, we'll see that the first 3 months of the year, maybe those days where they have their summer, so they have ability to stock up their houses. And then when you consider the percentage profit, you see that the store location, we have 3 locations: the rural, urban, and the suburban. You see that the suburban areas perform better in terms of sales. It has more. And then we'll talk about the weekly sales trends, the times of the week where people come out to come and buy in mass. We look at the Saturdays ranked highest in sales trend in days where people buy. When people come out in mass, come and buy, I believe maybe it's based on weekend shopping and all that. So people come out to come and buy. Then percentage by store location, people buy, as in the store location that yielded the most profit is the urban area. They yielded most profit because they made more profit from those areas. So we'll now look at the top sales by promotion. In the ranking, based on my analysis, the beverage yielded the most profit by promotions on the product based on, okay, like I said before, buy 10 and get one free and all those kind of things. So it yielded more. So when we now go to the KPIs, you see that the total sales revenue that was generated was about 1 million and $48, $781 is what was generated in total sales revenue, and the total profit that was made from this data set, from this analysis, is $2,810 was what. So total product category that highest is the beverage. People spend more money to buy their beverages than every other thing. So the day of the week that ranked highest in the sales is the Saturday. Saturday performed highest in terms of sales. People come out in mass, come and buy on Saturdays, and people spend money to come and buy products and goods that they need for their homes on Saturdays. Thank you. First, the next slide, we'll go to the recommendations. So the recommendations, what are my recommendations based on my analysis, based on the dashboard? So since beverages had the highest sales and the most promotions, I advise that you continue investing in marketing and promotions for this category to maintain and grow revenue. You also prioritize sales campaigns, make sure that, okay, since Saturdays are the days with the highest week, so with Saturday being the day with the highest sales, launch new product promotions and discounts on weekdays to maximize returns. The third one is leverage rural store performance. As rural stores bring in the highest big profit percentage, that's the 36%, consider allocating more resources, more stock, more staff and marketing to rural areas to boost overall profitability. So there are beverages, like I mentioned in the dashboard, that beverages rank the highest in the sales promotion, and it brought in more sales profit based on promotions. And then Saturdays rank the highest in sales performance, that the people bought more on Saturdays, and rural stores bring in the highest profit. Consider, because even like I said, I was thinking that is what's it called, urban, because considering that urban, there are many rich people live in the urban areas, but in this regard, the rural stores performed better in profit percentage, and so it's recommended that you allocate more resources to stock on staff and marketing, more marketing to the rural areas to boost overall profitability. And then the next slide, key insights. Yeah, key insights that were generated from this data set and from this analysis is the product performance. Beverages dominate in sales and profit. Beverages, people bought more, just like I've said before. Home care and personal care lag behind. I guess, like we say, that the things are really hard and people are concentrating more on food. So the people concentrated more on what they eat rather than maybe what they used to, beautify their body. So that's why beverages ranked first and dominated, whereas home care and personal care lag behind. Then in the sales trend, peak sales occur on weekends, which is Saturdays, and seasonal dips observed in certain months, like some part of the month, like August, September, and thereabouts. So promotions, some categories show negligible uptake during promos, which is like the beverage. Beverage, you put more money in the beverage to, boost people confidence, boost their desire, the zeal to buy more by, giving them more promo and discounts. I guess maybe they will buy more. So that's for that. So I'm going to, what next for me? During the preparing for this project, I downloaded a couple of data sets from Cargo. I downloaded data sets based on different sectors. I wanted to touch different sectors that I want to work with. I downloaded based on education, construction, health, agriculture, and so many things. So I downloaded. So I want maybe within this time, take out time and prepare my own data set, take time and work on these ones and know what it feels like to prepare and to analyze data sets on different sectors, of the economy. So at least can give me more broader knowledge in what the data analysis with Excel is. And I also want to learn dashboard creation using Power BI. I've been in a class where it was taught some time ago, but considering that they didn't have an in-depth time to buttress on it like this particular boot camp, I didn't learn much about it. So I want to take time to learn dashboard creation. And on the other hand, the last one, this Favor introduced us, God's Favor introduced us to this thing that she brought, and I applied. I got the scholarship. So I'm going to start my program on Coursera by ITES, and I pray I'm able to carry it to the end. So that's what next for me. Thank you. So I'm going to conclusion. The FMCG dashboard project provided insights into sales patterns across time, location, and category. I've gained practical experience turning raw data into a clear visual report that supports business decisions. Just like God's Favor said when she was doing the introduction, that data sets are just like numbers until you analyze them and turn them into stories. Like you have that table I had, and all of a sudden it's about, who sells better, which product sells better, and all that. So it gave me insight, because this particular bootcamp has helped me to know what it feels like to ask questions and bring out questions, as in extract questions from data sets and questions that could use to make actionable decisions on business. So this is the end of my presentation. Thank you. If you have any questions, feel free to ask.
Thank you so much, Uche. That was a very wonderful presentation. So our speaker is here. The next person that's going to present is going to have to hold on till after our speaker session. So I'm going to I'm going to stop sharing my screen. Then, hi Tina, welcome.
Hi, Favor. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, my sincere apologies. Pardon me. This is what you get when you work 9 to 5. Anyways, I'm here now, so let me know if I can start.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can.
Okay. Hi, everyone, and good evening, my time. So I was not here from the start, so I must have missed out on a lot of amazing things, but I mean, I have a lot or so little I want to share, but I really hope that it resonates with someone today. And today I'm just going to be sharing my story, telling you about the power of data storytelling as well, and just some of the lessons that I've learned in these 3 years of my career. Please, if you can't hear me clearly, just let me know. So quick one before we go into the main dates. My name is Tina Okonkwo, and I'm so many things. I'm a data analyst. I'm a community manager. I currently work as a technical community manager at Java Squad. We're a data and AI company. I have over 3 years experience across several industries. I'm sure that there's any industry you can think of, I've done something data related there. I also train people. I teach people data analytics, Power BI, data visualization, as well as data storytelling. Aside from my 9 to 5 role, I also work as a community manager, or I volunteer as a community manager for Data Community Africa. It's one of the biggest data communities here in Africa. I'm also a content creator and a YouTuber. I have a YouTube page where I teach people data analytics content. And for me, my goal is to just help a lot of people start their career, especially beginners in data analytics. And this I've done by, volunteering to speak at events like this, mentoring a lot of people, and, just sharing a little bit of my own knowledge. I'm going to just give you a brief background how I got started. My first encounter with data was as far back as 2015, where that was when I just recently graduated from uni, and I think, I read mathematics, by the way, and what they told us then in school was that if you read mathematics, you can work anywhere. So I'd just finished my BSc, and I didn't know what I was going to do afterwards. So I found myself Googling where mathematics graduates can work. And I think I came across data science, AI, and a whole lot of that, but I was too lazy and too uninterested to start researching what those things were. And luckily for me, the NYSC program came up. If you're Nigerian, you know what NYSC is. And I got a job as a customer service personnel, and I took that up. Fast forward, 7 years later, there was this old rave and noise about, you need to learn tech around me. Everybody was just getting into tech. And, I started thinking what tech parts I wanted to go in. Now, due to my background, the background I already have in mathematics, and because I have this knack for problem solving, like I'm coming from a customer service background, yeah. So data science just looked like a thing for me. Yes, when I started, I wanted to be a data scientist, not even a data analyst. But along the line, I just fell in love with data visualization, building dashboard, and I stuck with data analytics. So I picked up this IBM data science course on Coursera. I just did only the first course because when I got the second course, they needed me to download a lot of tools. And at that point, when I just started learning, I did not even have a laptop. So I was learning on my phone, right? Thankfully for me, I got this scholarship program from an NGO called Ingressive for Good for me to learn data for a year. And it was like the opportunity it changed my life. Let me just put it that way, because it came at the time I needed it the most. Data Camp is this platform that it allows you to learn on your phone. Yeah. So throughout 4 months, I was learning Python on my phone, being very consistent. And luckily for me, ASU strike happened that time. My younger sister who had a laptop came back for like during the ASU strike, and I had to start borrowing our laptops to work on projects. So during the day, I'll do all those courses because she was also learning data analytics at the time. So she was using her laptop. So I only had access to a laptop at night. So what I would do is I would learn on my phone during the day, and at night I would just work on one or two projects, just practice some of the things that I'd learned. I got that scholarship in April, and I published my first project, my first data project, what you would call like a dashboard, mini visualization project. I had worked on this Superstore data set, it's a very popular data set, and I put that project out there in May 2020. I published it on Twitter, and I got a lot of feedback from amazing peers and leaders in the community, giving feedback about what I should do better. I worked on those feedbacks, shared it again. It was not my best. It was one of the most ugliest dashboards that I've ever seen, if I do say so right now. And the next month, June of that same year, I published another project. This one was one of all these database challenges that you would see on there. So I picked up this data, worked on it, published it on there. And then I was already getting better. I got a lot of good feedbacks too, and people were like, "Oh, okay," gave me comments. I went back. So there was one comment somebody left, and that inspired me to work on my third one, which was actually a game changer. So, and there's a reason why I'm saying this thing, so that sometimes when you get horrible feedbacks, you don't take it the wrong way. Somebody had commented on my dashboard that, oh, it was not original, I'd copied one thing and everything. And oh, to be very honest, I'd gotten inspiration from a whole lot of other dashboards to build that, right? So what that led me to do was I was very sad, but then I told myself that the next project I wanted to work on, I wanted to source for the data sets by myself, create data set myself down to building the dashboard. And at that point, there was this reality TV show ongoing. I'm a big fan of reality TV shows, by the way. That's Real Housewives of Lagos. So one thing I did was I scraped, and I just learned with scraping on data camp then. If I took a Python course, right? So I scraped all tweets relating to the hashtag of Real Housewife of Lagos, and I um I built a dashboard out of those tweets, getting insights such as like the most popular cast, some of the most popular hashtags, sentiments, and things like that. And that dashboard went viral. I'm sure if you know, there are so many people that know Tina Okonkwo because of that particular project. And that project led a whole lot of recruiters to my DM, and even the first job that I landed was through that same project, because the CEO had seen that project on the TL and just sent me a DM that they would love to work with me. I got a lot of interview opportunities from it as well. And like, in fact, that was the beginning of my entire data analytics story, because it just spiraled from on there, right? It's been back to back to back to back good news. After working in that role for 2 3 years, 2 years actually, I started to look for other opportunities, which led me to where I am. So now, one thing I wanted to mention is that I started out wanting to be a data scientist, but along the line I stuck with being a data analyst. Then afterwards, and right now I'm a community manager. What a journey, if you ask me. And I'm just going to speak a little bit onto what data storytelling is, and like some of the things that I've learned or I learned throughout these 3 years, right? So something that I've prepared slides here, and I know that God's favor must have spoken a lot about what data analytics is and even data storytelling. But something I just want you to always remember is that whatever dashboard or whatever data you're analyzing, if there's no context to it, it's just numbers, right? People are throwing in a bunch of, or throwing at you a bunch of spreadsheets and tables, and they're telling you to convert that to like, visualizations. And the reason for those visualizations is because they want to see the why behind their numbers, and they want to be able to act upon it. If you're building a dashboard and nobody is acting upon it, trust me, like what you've just done is nobody can make any decision from it. What you've just done is like graphics design, not really analysis, right? You want to make sure that key stakeholders, people are making decisions from this. And I've just listed like some examples where visualization and analytics has actually helped. When you watch systems, or when you use systems like use apps like Netflix, right? And you get recommended movies based on some of the kind of movies. Like for me now, if you come to my Netflix, you see a whole lot of K-drama movies around here. And the only reason is because I watch K-drama a lot, right? And the reason why they're able to do this thing is because they've been able to use like your viewing data to tell personalized stories about what you might actually be interested in next. This is just all this is just the power of using data storytelling. Think of Spotify Wrapped. If you're a music person, right? There's this thing that Spotify has done yearly where they try to, create like a story around like some of the songs that you have listened, the most popular songs you have listened across the years. What this happens is that people are sharing this thing, and it's generating a lot of social impressions for this particular brand. So when next you want to analyze data, or you think of analyzing data, always think of the why behind those numbers. Always leave your stakeholders, or whoever that is going to be acting, your business users, whoever that's going to be acting upon this thing, is always leave them wondering, why should they care? Why exactly should they care about this thing? Yes, we are making sales here. Why exactly should I care about the fact that we're making sales here? How is it better than last year? Things around that. You want to always make sure you think of it. Now, somebody might ask me, as like, okay, yes, we know all this, but then what are some of the things that have helped you, Tina, to stay consistent and be so good at whatever you do? Number one thing I always like to tell people is that there's so many tools. Trust me, I can count more than 20 data analytics tools that we have, but it's always important that you start with the basics. It's always important that you start with the basics. What do I mean? Like, that to become a data analyst, there are several tools that you need to learn. What are those basic ones? The Excel, SQL, BI tools like your Power BI or Tableau, Python or your R. These are the important basics that you need to master, right? And you don't even need to know everything. Just know as long as you can use any of these tools to actually analyze data or solve a business problem, then you are good to go. No, next thing I always tell people, because we are always so focused in that tutorial hell, like you want to just keep on learning and learning and learning and learning and learning, which is not important. It's important that whilst you are learning, also try to build. If you notice, when I was sharing my story, within every month that I was learning, I was working on a project. I was making sure that I put what I had learned into practice. So make sure that you have a portfolio, you are building, you are showing what you are learning, and not just, telling people that I've learned Excel. It's easier for you to show me your dashboard and than to tell me that, oh, you've learned Excel, right? Another thing is joining communities. Was a big part of my growth, and that is why I've been able to give back and volunteer to a lot of communities. Joining communities is very important. I mean, I mentioned that I got the scholarship that I got from a community. So it's very important you join community, attend events, look for all these data events. Events like this are also events. So it doesn't have to be physical events, virtual events. And when you're joining these events, try to contribute, try to network, try to meet one or two people in the comments. Most times when I join events like this, I just, even without us, I just go to the comment section and try to introduce myself. Oh, my name is this. I'm a data analyst. I've been doing this for this. I'm looking to connect with people that simple as that. You're trying to, like, my name is already stuck, right? When you go to another event and you see that name, oh, I saw this person at this particular event, right? Don't forget soft skills. Soft skill is very important. And I highlighted two here for a reason, right? Some people are very like great at analysis, doing the hard work, but they are not even great at communicating or showing what they've done. So it's very important that you have great communication skill. While I walked in on someone presenting whatever she had built. It will be a shame if she had built whatever she had built and she cannot come to present that this is. You would not even believe if she was the one that actually did that, right? So communicating is a very big part of what we do as data analysts. Communication is a very big part of what we do, right? Also storytelling. And when I'm talking about storytelling this time, I'm not even talking about like data storytelling. I'm talking about how you actually storytell the work that you actually do, right? So it's very, very important that you storytell what you're actually doing. Build in public. It's very important, which lead me to some of the things, the lessons that I've learned along the way. Number one, consistency. It's very, very okay to actually do the main thing and say, okay, you're doing the work, but it's not about like showing up 100 every day. Those small steps that you put in daily is very important. And while you are this thing is also very important, while you are building, it's also very important to seek feedback. Trust me, feedback will go a lot of it. There are a lot of people online that are looking for, that are there waiting for you to just put your work and they will give you feedback. I've already mentioned this before, but I'll mention it again. Networking opens a lot of doors. The fact that you're getting, I can tell you for a fact that I get a lot of opportunities in the community because I've networked with a lot of people. And networking is not just networking with people that, your people that will like maybe the upper echelon. I'm talking about even your peers, because when they land their own opportunity, other opportunities will come for them and they'll be passing these opportunities to you. Another thing is sharing your work. It's very, very important that you share your work because someone is watching. Also, it's important that you stay curious. There are a lot of new tools that are coming out. I want you to also keep like learning all this. Stay curious and keep learning this new tool, picking up this new tool. You don't need to know everything about it, but at least have an overview, right? Also, it's important that you balance your technical skills with your soft skills. I've mentioned this before. And then giving back is important, right? Volunteer. There might be another call like this. You can volunteer to teach, to mentor other people. And then it's not a one-way this thing. Keep experimenting. Try what works and come back again. If it doesn't work, keep testing and testing and testing. So I'm just going to stop here. I hope I've not been so fast, and I really hope that you guys have picked something from this session. But I would just stop here and take questions. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Tina. Thank you so much for sharing your journey with us. It was very inspiring. It was very impactful. So, this is me asking if we have any questions. If you have any questions, now is the time to ask. Feel free to ask your questions, and she's going to answer them.
Good evening.
Okay, Tosin.
Yeah, thank you so much, Miss Tina, for the session. It was quite insightful. I really learned so much from what you just said. And I want to ask a question. I think generally I've observed a trend amongst maybe data people. Okay, maybe somebody's a data analyst today, they maybe in the next 1 or 2 years, they tell you that they are a data scientist. And it almost feels as if you say you're a data analyst and you're not aspiring to become a data scientist, you don't know what you're doing. Like it's more like it's supposed to be a progressive form of maybe it's supposed to be a trajectory that once you are a data analyst today, maybe in the next 2, 3 years, you should be thinking of being a data scientist. What if I don't want to be a data scientist? Does that mean that my work or my passion as an analyst does not really matter? Or does that mean I don't know what I'm doing? Like, is it compulsory to become a data scientist after being a data analyst? Yeah, I think that's my question.
I mean, if you listen to my own journey, it's backwards, right? I was a data scientist before a data analyst, so I definitely don't think that it's compulsory to be to have a next step. I have people that have been doing data analysis for over 10 years now, and like there's no they're not losing at anything. So I don't think it's a must for you to follow that trajectory. Just everybody has different paths. So if you decide that you want to remain a data analyst till whenever, trust me, it's not a bad decision.
Thank you.
Okay, do we have any more questions? Any more questions? Any more questions? You can use the chat box. Okay.
Good evening. I have a question.
Okay.
Is it okay if, for instance, you just feel like not learning for a particular day? Is it okay or is it bad?
I think I don't know, I can't find her on the call. I think it's network. Um, okay, there's also another question in the chat box. So we are going to wait for like few minutes. Okay, she's still here on the call. Hi, Tina. Um,
Hi, Joshua. Sorry, I was trying to switch devices. Can you hear me?
yes, I can. So there's a question for you. I'm trying to find the person that was speaking before, so the person can repeat their question for Tina to answer. Then there's also another question in the chat box, which I'm going to read out after she's done answering this one. Okay. So the person that was speaking before, please can you repeat your question so she can take
Good
them again?
evening.
Good evening.
So I was saying that if it is as we are doing this going about these lessons and learning this data analytics, if it is not bad or if it's bad for somebody to like feel like you just want to take a break for that particular time, hope it's okay and it's not something that bad.
Okay.
So I think God's favor knows me very well. I'm a big preacher of taking breaks. And that is why, because I know sometimes it can get really overwhelming. I'm somebody who I get easily tired with things. In fact, I'm surprised that I've not gotten tired with data analytics, right? And I know how overwhelming, but here's the problem. The problem is when you don't know when to come back. That is the problem. So whenever you decide that you want to give yourself breaks, I always advise that also give yourself, this is when I want to come back. So if you are taking a 2 week break, let it be that you're taking a 2 weeks. If you're taking a 1 month break, let it be that you're taking a 1 month break. But there should be something that should tell you once that 1 month is over that, oh, it's time to get back to work. I don't know if I'm making any sense.
Yes, thank you.
Okay.
I
There's
have
another
a
question.
question.
Sorry, Uche, please hold on. Let me read the question from the chat box. So this question is from Ejiro. Okay, no, Victoria. Let me start with Victoria. The person said, "Can I ask a question concerning the Power BI bootcamp we applied for? Also, I've started applying for internship, but sometimes it feels like I'm not good enough. What do I do?"
So the first thing is this, yeah. You want to check if you have actually crossed your T's and dotted your I's. What do I mean? What are the things that require me to get an internship? Have I done those things? For example, you probably need to have like a portfolio, have groundwork to say that you know Excel, you know SQL, you know Power BI. Have you really done these things? Okay, if you have done that, what about your CV? Is your CV up to date? Has your LinkedIn been properly optimized? You want to check all these things before you actually say, okay, you have done your best, right? Now, once you have done all these things, the next thing that you want to actually look at is, have I asked somebody else if my portfolio, if these portfolios are enough to actually land me an internship? Have I asked somebody to review my CV or actually review my LinkedIn to see if it is properly optimized? Now, once you have actually done all these things and you feel like you are still not making progress, some of the things or some of my own tips is, putting it out there clearly to say that these are the things that I've done. That what I mean is, I don't know if you know Instagram vendors. I always like to make reference to them because I mean they finished my money in this life. And what do I mean? If you look at the way they market their products, sometimes, even if it's the last money in your account, you want to spend it. What I'm saying is this: put out all those projects you have done already to show that you have proficiency in these tools and come online to say, I've done this and this and this. This is how I can bring value to your organization. If you have me as an internship, oh, I'm not even looking to earn money. I just want somewhere where I can learn and put my skill to good use. I'm definitely sure if you have done the good work, you're going to see somebody that would actually reach out to say, okay, yes, let's actually work with this person. Code emailing is another thing that would work, but I'm not a really big fan of code emailing because sometimes it can look like disturbance. That is why I always prefer to actually, put myself out there like that. I don't know if this helps or if this answers your question in any way.
Okay. Okay, I'm going to read the next question from the chat box, which is person said, "Thank you so much, Miss Tina, for sharing your knowledge with us. I have a question concerning portfolio creation. Is it a good practice to use guided projects in your portfolio? Must it be something you created on your own? Since it's important." Okay, sorry, this is another question. Yes, that's the question. Tina, did you get that, or should I read it again?
Sorry, please repeat it again. I didn't get that.
Okay, the person said, "Thank you, Miss Tina, for sharing your knowledge with us. I have a question concerning portfolio creation. Is it a good practice to use guided projects in your portfolio, or must it be something we created on our own?"
So now, while I'm not a huge fan of guided projects, I also still believe that you can use this. But most times, I always tell people to personalize those projects. Yes, you've used the guided project, or you've learned it, right? You know what it does. Think of something that you can do to make that project better. Are there any insights, or is there any way you can take that particular project further, a step further, to make it look really interesting and personalizable? So that's the most important thing. So it's okay if you decide to put guided projects, but sometimes guided projects are not really in depth and don't go into like much more problem solving use case that you can think of. So most times, that's why I'm not just a huge fan of using guided projects. So I'll just probably advise that you personalize it before putting it on your portfolio.
Okay, we're going to take the last question. Uchechi, Victory. Last question because of time. Uchechi is not
I'm
speaking.
here. You can leave the one on the question box. Let me ask the questions myself. The question I want to ask is,
Is it just me? I can't hear you, Uchechi.
Yeah, I can hear too.
Okay. I think
mathematicians are really, because when you say recommendation several times, but in my own, hello, can you hear me?
yes, we could not hear you for a while. So you might
Oh,
want to keep this.
okay. So I can revise my question. I said she was saying something about being a mathematician. She read mathematics, so it was quite easy for her to navigate, into data analytics because maybe of her background. And in my own case, I read quantity surveying, and I don't want to. I want to be a data analyst, yes, but I don't want to leave quantity surveying entirely. Like, okay, I'm no longer quantity, I'm a data. I want to merge both of them in such a way that I offer data analytics services to construction or oil and gas services and all that that enshrined in the quantity surveying profession. Not like, okay, it's because most times data analysis is about mostly businesses or like health sector. You analyze data sets to bring out actionable insight that will help to make business to grow. So, but I want a practical application of data analytics into the construction industry, the construction. The day we started this program, I asked this question: okay, are there data sets that points to construction that somebody can work on? Because the day I went through cargo, I saw few. It was just so. I'm just trying to be, like to find out if there is no direct application of data analytics to the construction sector and maybe the quantity surveying. So please, I don't know if my question makes sense, but I want her to throw more light on it. Thank you.
So if I get you correctly, you are somewhat asking if there's like a connection between quantity surveying and then data analytics.
Yes.
Am I correct?
Yes, yes.
Now, I'm of the opinion that there's no industry where data cannot be applied. Think of quantity survey in your field. What are the data points that you people collect there, right? I'm not very familiar with this field, so I cannot really speak, right? But for somebody like you that, that is your own field, I'm very sure that there are different data points that you can come up with, right? I always see that's why I like AI. ChatGPT, for example, you can go to ChatGPT, prompt ChatGPT like for how data is being used in this field, and it will give you a lot of even business problems that you might have never even thought about before. That is how amazing data is. So I really do not think that there's nowhere that you cannot use there's no field that you cannot use data. And please ignore me that I said it was easy for me because I read mathematics. I have a friend, my very good friend in the office. She read mass communication and she's a fantastic data analyst. So regardless of whatever field or whatever thing that you learn, I think that data can be used everywhere and that you can also make a great data analyst in any field. I don't know if this helps.
Uche, did you get that?
Yes, I did. I did. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you so much, Tina. Thank you very, very, very much for joining us today. We really, really appreciate. Thank you so, 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 so much. Thank you. I'm going to go back to sharing my screen and we are going to continue with the presentation. So I'm going to call on Mary Oluchi Obasi to present. So you have 5 minutes because of time. Mary, can you hear me? Mary Oluchi. I think we have to Mary. Oh, I forgot to say something. Please don't forget to follow, like Tina said, make sure you attend events, whether it's virtual or physical. We have Data Fest coming up next month, October. So if you're in Lagos, you might want to register for that. Registration is still ongoing. We have virtual communities too that you can be part of, and make sure you are active. We also have monthly challenges on LinkedIn, on Twitter. You can challenge yourself by joining those monthly challenges and seeing what you can do with them. We also have, yeah, I think that's it. Any other community I find, you get more opportunities from communities actually. My data campus subscription was from a community. And yeah, that's like the usefulness of joining communities. So is Miri Oluchi Obasi on the call? If she's not on the call, move out.
Yes, I'm on the call. I'm on the call. Good evening.
Okay. Do you want to share your screen or do you need me to share my screen?
I'll share mine.
Okay. So let me stop sharing. Okay. Oh, yeah, you can share.
So sorry. Can you see my screen? Can you see my screen?
Yes,
okay.
I can.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Mary Oluchi Obasi, and the title of my project is MTN Nigeria Customer Churn Analysis. Okay, I'll first start by explaining what churn is. Churn can be defined as the number of customers who leave or who stop using the services of a company over a given period. And it is essential for organizations to always check customers that churned and customers that remain so that to help decision making. Now, introduction. MTN, a telecommunications company in Nigeria, wants to investigate how customers churned in Q1 of 2025. The aim of this analysis is to uncover churn patterns across various customer segments, such as age, gender, location. Now, with the increase of tariff by the NCC, since I think since this year, I've seen people on Twitter always complain about how MTN is eating their data, or how the data doesn't last anymore. This, a lot of things, or how the services is very bad. Like that what inspired me to do this project. I'm like, okay, how do I want to know the main reason that customer churned, like what was the main reason that that made people to stop using these services, and what age group is particular among the churned customers. Now, about the data was sourced from Cargo, and it contains 974 rows and 17 columns. It contains information like customer ID, age, gender, state, the device used to purchase the data. It contains the reason for churn, like the reason why they stopped using the services. It contains churn status, whether they churned or not, and thereabouts. The tool for the analysis was Microsoft Excel. I documented my projects on Medium, on GitHub, and Data Science Portfolio. Now, this is the snippet of the data set. It contains customer ID, full name, date of purchase, age, state, MTN device, gender, satisfaction rates, customer review, customer tenure in months, subscription plan, unit price, and thereabouts. Data cleaning and analysis. Now, the data was first converted to an Excel table for easier cleaning, and then I checked for nulls. The only column that had null values was the reason for churn, and that is because people that did not churn, there was no reason for them. There was no reason, so it was left blank. I replaced the blank cells with active, meaning these customers are still active. Then I created 5 new columns. namely like churn flag, count, age group, tenure group, and revenue group. Now, the churn flag flags churn status. It represents one for people that churned and 0 for people that didn't churn. Now, the counts every unique row. That was 1 for each row. The age group, I segmented customers' age in tens from 16 to 25, 26 to 35, 46, 36 to 45, 46 to 55, and thereabouts. The highest age of customers was 80. Then for tenure group, tenure was given in months. Tenure means the how long the customers have been using these services. So I segmented it also in months, like 1 to 12 months. That means a year, and 13 to 24 months, 2 years, 25 to 36 months, 3 years, and thereabouts. Then revenue group. Revenue represents how much the total amount of money that the customer spent in that period. So I segmented the customer's revenue in 3 groups: high, moderate, and low. Now for low revenue group, there is customers that spend less than or equals to 100,000 naira for that period. Then for moderate, customers that spend between 100,000 to 500,000. Then for high revenue is for high revenue group, customers that spend above 500,000. Then I used pivot table to summarize and extract insights, and this analysis were represented in charts. And then these charts we used to create a dynamic dashboard. Now, these are the key insights. The first one is churn by device. The churn from the charts, we can see that is mobile. Most customers that churned were people that used mobile SIM cards. That's 94, while 4G routes are followed after. Then the reasons for churn, the main reason for churn was high call tariffs. I was surprised because from what I've been seeing online, I was thinking that it would be like probably poor network or that they are fast data consumption. But I was surprised that it was high call tariffs. And this can be explained because since SIM card was the most churned device, so it can be explained why high call tariffs was the most common reason for churn. Then we have churn by tenure and top 5 states by churn rates. Now, churn by tenure. People who spend more time in the company were more likely to churn. Like we can see that people that spent from 49 to 60 months, that's about 5 years, churned more, followed by people that spent 4 years and then 3 years. And then top 5 states by churn rates. Now, churn rate signifies the percentage of customers that left a company. I didn't want to do the number of customers that left in each state. I wanted to do the percentage of people that left, because say for instance now, if in Lagos we have five people that churned, and we have 15 customers, but 15 total customers. Then in Oyo we have like 6 customers, six total customers, and then 6 people churned. If I do churn by customers, it will show that maybe Oyo churned people that stay in Oyo churned more than people that stay in Lagos. But like that's not going to be that will not fully explain this, because the churn rate is more than the people in Lagos. That's why I did churn rate. Churn rate signifies the percentage of people that's churned. So like everything is over 100, so it's on the same scale. With this, we consider Adamawa churned more. So it means that for all the customers in Adamawa, more people left than stayed. Let's say we have 10 customers now. Let me say that 6 people left and 4 stayed, So more left than stayed, followed by Imo and Akwa Ibom and Kebbi and Benue. Now, this is the full dashboard. The total customers are 974. The churn customer is 284. And the churn rate is 29%. We have 71% active customers. The average satisfaction rate is 2.95. And the common churn reason is high call tariff. From this chart, you can see the churn by gender. 53% of the churned customers are female. Then churn breakdown by device. We said that mobile SIM card was the device that churned the most. Customer reviews versus churn. Now we can see that people who reviewed very good churned the most, which is strange because it's supposed to be, if you high, normally it's high review, you will not think people would churn. High review means, okay, I'm satisfied with this service. But now we can see that people that are very good is like 4-star rating something. But very good, yes, people that did very good churned more. And then people that reviewed poor churned the lists. Strange. Reasons for churn. High call tariff was the main reason for churn, followed by better offers from competitors. Yes, now this period now a lot of people, like a lot of companies are trying to, beat their counterparts. So people will always keep moving and looking for the ones that fits them, that fits their budgets. Now we have churn by age group. With this, we can see that people who churn the most are people between the ages of 26 to 35. These are like youths and adults, and which is not strange because a lot of people like this age use data very well, and they obviously want something that will give them the best. Then churn by tenure, we can see that people that spent more time in the company churned more. Then churn by revenue. From here, you can see that people in the low revenue group churned more with 51%, while people in the moderate revenue group churned second by were the second highest by 41%. The people that churned the least were people that paid more. Obviously, people who pay more will not want to leave. So probably that's why. Then top 5 states by churn rates, we can see that Adamawa had the highest churn rate, followed by Imo, Akwa Ibom, KB, and Benue. So recommendations, because high court tariff was the most common churn reason. First recommendation, we should consider lowering the call tariff rate after the first 5 minutes of calls made each day, especially for frequent callers. Like before the increase in tariff, I know there was this thing that we used to do that if you, I think after first 5 minutes of the day, then maybe you'll be charged by at 13 kobo per second for the first 5 minutes. Then after that, the rate will be less. But since the increase, that has stopped. So it would be good if this is brought back, especially for people who are frequent callers. This would be very helpful to lower the churn rates. Then second recommendation, introduce loyalty rewards or value-added services like free data and recharge for mobile SIM users. Exactly. People like AWOF, people like freebies. So this will help people to they want to remain the service. Like now, if I should buy data and buy airtime and I'm saying okay, free 500 MB, obviously I want to keep recharging now. Then the third one, investigate issues that led to churn in states with a high churn rate like Adamawa, and create localized campaigns specific to those areas. So exactly. So now go to those states states with the high churn rates, investigate, okay, what is causing this thing? Because now what is causing churn rate in Adamawa might not be the reason that is causing churn in Lagos. It could be like poor service or poor networking. Adamawa doesn't stop people stop using the services with that kind of thing. So investigate the main reason, and then you factor strategies based on those reasons to those particular areas. Then what's next? I'll do project on SQL and document them on my portfolio. So I have been so scared to always, I think, to document, but this has been a boost to me. Like this has been like the first of many. This is my first time presenting. This is my first time having a project on my portfolio. Like, and I'm so proud and I'm very excited. So with this has given me a boost to do more projects on other tools, especially SQL, because I have a working knowledge of SQL, and I'm able to document them and show my portfolio. Second one, I also take courses to get better in Power BI, especially DAX. Yeah, I've still in Power BI, but I'm not like very grounded. So with this, I want to know more on Power BI, and hopefully by the end of the year, I'll be confident enough to apply for entry-level data roles. Conclusion: this project uncovered customer churn patterns across various segments. Doing this project made me familiar with customer churn, its meaning, and how it affects businesses. Yeah, I knew I've heard of churn, but like I didn't pay attention. I did not know what it actually meant. So this project helped me to understand the reason churn, what churn meant, the reason, and how it benefits companies. And yeah, with this analysis, I can aid MTN Nigeria's decision making. Thank you. That's all.
Thank you so much, Oluchi.
You're welcome.
So first is first, I love your presentation.
Thank
Whenever I see this color you used, it just reminds me of MTN. And I love that you worked on a project so telecommunications companies, they've shown Nigerians shaggy.
you.
And like we can relate to this problem. And I also like that you're able to explain how you worked on it, your whole process. I like your choice of visuals. All in all, wonderful presentation.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, so we are going to go to the next person, Rosemary. Hi, Rosemary. Can you hear me?
Yes, hi.
Okay.
Good evening.
Evening. Do you need me to share my screen for you, or do
Yeah,
you want to? Okay. Let me do that. This one, I think. Okay.
good
So you
evening,
can start.
everybody. My name is Rosemary Nena Ajezo. So, and this is the capstone project that I worked on. It's talking about sneakers and streetwear sales analysis for 2022, January to August. The next slide. So, in today's competitive fashion and retail landscape, understanding customer behavior and sales performance is essential for growth. So, this project it analyzes 2022 sales data from a sneaker and streetwear company to uncover trends across product type, brands, countries, payment method, and customer segments. So, I used Excel to transform this raw data into an interactive dashboard to help the business and the industry to identify which products and strategies are driving the most revenue. Data informed decisions around inventory planning and opportunities for growth. So the purpose of this analysis is this project it focuses on analyzing a sneaker and streetwear sales data to uncover the key performance metric across brands, countries. So the goal was to identify business decisions and on product focus, regional targeting, and customer preferences. Next slide, please. Problem statement. So the company needed a way to understand how their sneakers and streetwear products were performing across different markets and brands. And the brands include like Nike, Adidas, Yeez, and the rest of them, and the customer segments. So here I had to understand which product type or brands generates most revenue, customer preferences by gender, location, and best payment methods, and also seasonal trends or fluctuations in sales. So the analysis aims to provide a data-driven overview to guide marketing, inventory planning, and product strategy decisions. Next slide, please. So the tools I use in this to analyze this data set is Microsoft Excel. I got this data set from Kaggle, and it's a 2022 records from January to August. The records of sneakers and streetwear items from multiple brands like Adidas, Essentials, Puma, Off-White, and the rest of them, with transactions, the type of transaction that was made, either wallet, UPI, cards, or cash on delivery. And the product type, which is sneakers, t-shirts, joggers, hoodies, and so on. And then customer demographics. The okay, what I did initially, the data set was unclean and not presentable, so the following measures were applied. So I converted the data set into an Excel table to enable um, pivot table performance. Then I cleaned the data set for consistency and accuracy, and I ensured appropriate chart types to for accurate visualization. I added new columns of weekdays and months for time-based analysis. Next slide. So now looking at this, after analyzing the data, then I created the dashboard. So using this dashboard now, you can make out the top brand by amount. So looking at this dashboard, we can be able to see that the top performing brand is actually Nike. They made up to $67,000, and they are the highest, followed by Adidas. Well, Adidas went very, very low. It made 36. So the product type that made the highest sales is actually sneakers. So looking at this data, we can understand that sneakers actually made the highest sales. Then the payment method that was mostly used is wallets. Then the category, the product category that is being sold that made the highest sales here is casuals, like casual wears. And here we can see that the genders, they made the gender preferences in this data set is actually women. Women usually buy more clothes and more sneakers and all those things. So here you can see that they actually made a total of 40% more than both men wears and unisex clothing. So here the top country was Japan, and India ranked last. The monthly sales trends from January to August, we can see that the highest sale was made in July. So summarizing this, you can see that the total amount of sales made from January to July is 193,103. And the best selling product here is sneaker, and the top performing brand for this sneaker and streetwear sales is Nike. Next. So the key insights. So here we can see that the main insights we got from this data set is the top performing brand, which is Nike. It leads the other, it leads in sale with $67,975. So the best selling product type here is sneaker. It got the highest sales. The top country is Japan. It generated the highest revenue, and the peak sale month is July. It got the highest sales of 32,000 and $73. Next, please. So recommendations. Firstly, I'll say they should focus on marketing on top brands and products. So they'll prioritize Nike and sneaker related promotions as they constantly drive the highest revenue. They should consider expanding inventory for hoodies and joggers, which are the next best selling categories. They should optimize for high performing regions, like strengthen their marketing efforts in Japan, Canada, and Germany as they are top performing countries. Why they should explore to understand why India and investigate to know which other things that they are going to do to enable them also be able to generate more revenue like the countries. So they should leverage peak months and gender preferences. They should increase stock and promotional campaigns leading up to July. They should, since unisex products generate the least revenue, they should consider making promotions for unisex products. And since women products actually got the most revenue, they should consider designing and promoting more women styles. So also they should encourage wallet and card usage because wallet usage got 28% and card usage got 27% in payment slates. So they should offer discounts or rewards for using this payment method to increase transaction volumes. Next, please. So the next thing I'm going to do, I've downloaded a few data sets that I want to analyze to enable me gain more insights and also improve my Excel dashboard creating skills. I also want to learn how to analyze data using Power BI, and I'm excited to start our Power BI learning journey with the free bootcamp that is starting in August 18 that is being hosted by Miss Tina Okonkwo. Next. Conclusion. This project, it helped me translate raw sales data into meaningful insights from the cleaning to the analysis to the visualization. I really it also helped me to develop my skills. So I'm excited to continue building on these skills to take on more complex data projects. So thank you everyone for listening and thank you for your time.
Thank you so much, Mary. First things first, I like your choice of color. I like that your dashboard is very easy to understand. Your choice of visuals, I really liked it. And Nike is actually bigger than Adidas. I mean, in real life. So this data set actually will I say this is real life data. I'm surprised you got it from Cargo. And beautiful presentation, by the way. Very, very beautiful presentation. Thank you so much, Mary.
Thank you.
We are going to go to the last person for our presentation. Hi, Joseph.
Good evening, ma. Good evening, everyone. Please confirm I'm audible, please.
Yes, you are. So do you need me to share my screen or do you want to share your screen yourself?
Yes, please. Share from your end.
Oh, okay. Your
Thank
dashboard is this okay. So I'm going to yeah, you can start.
All right. Good evening, everyone. Sorry if my background is a bit noisy. I'm still at work presently. So, I really want to start by appreciating everyone who, you know, giving their best to make sure that from we just blindly using Excel, we are now able to make sense out of raw data that we have in our disposal to, tell beautiful stories about them. So my project was about or is about the Indian Airways actually airline. As a kid, I've actually been really enthusiastic about the plane and everything around it. And when I searched on Go Cargo rather, and I saw this data, I jumped at it like immediately. So for my introduction, I said this project explores airline travel patterns across major Indian cities using historical flight data. The aim is to gain insight into the most traveled routes, the peak time, the class preference, the airline usage, and how booking time affects fares. The analysis was performed using Excel and the results were visualized as an interactive dashboard. The next slide, please. So our problem statement, Indian domestic aviation sector is a rapidly growing is rapidly growing, yet airlines and passengers face persistent challenges such as fluctuation and fluctuating fare prices, uneven route travels, and varying services quality across airlines. So this project actually was performed to address the following, to find out the following. What are the most popular routes and flight times? The airlines, which airline is frequently used and when? How do flight class and booking window impact fare pricing? And the patterns, what patterns can help improve airline planning and customer experience? So the purpose of this analysis is to analyze and uncover key trends in Indian domestic airline industry, such as the popular flight routes, the class usage, airline preference, the fare behaviors to support data-driven decisions for improving operational planning, pricing strategies, and customer experiences. The next slide, please. So the tools and data I actually used Excel to craft out all of this masterpiece actually. And then the data set was an airline flight data, including source cities, airline flight frequency, fare amount, and the booking window. So this was actually the raw data that was provided for me. And from these, I was able to figure out, okay, what exactly I needed to do. And I added two additional columns, which carried the route from where they are taking this flight to their destination, and you know the pricing, because of what I actually wanted to achieve with this data. The next slide, please. Okay, yeah, the next one. So what I did after downloading the data, which was really clumsy, it contained about 300,152 rows and um, several columns actually. And after downloading, I really had to sit down to really decipher what I needed to do with this data and what exactly I wanted to achieve with the raw data that I had. And from there, I downloaded it from Cargo, then cleaned it up, transferred it to Excel, where I converted to the table that would help me filter to get um, everything I needed to do this analysis. All data pre-processing was carried out using Excel, leveraging on tools like the pivot table, the slicer, conditional formatting to bring clarity to the and visual appeal to the analysis. And lastly, to ensure accuracy and consistency, as I mentioned later, I checked for empty cells, rows, and columns, and I added additional two rows to be able to achieve, the result I have today with this analysis. The next slide, please. So to my dashboard, I mentioned earlier that it's about the Indian Airways, and we wanted to really know what happens within the airspace in India. From this dashboard, we're able to, to come to a conclusion with the most used routes, as you can see here, the most used route within the Indian Airways. We also looked at the flight class comparison. Okay, um, if customers are taking business class more than economy or vice versa, is there any reason why this is happening? And if there's reason, this is why we had this year to know why and the percentage why this is happening. We also looked at the flight by class usage frequency. So this is also to support what we have in this first one here by the extreme right. If this is happening, what percentage actually are customers preferring to use the economy or the business class over the economy, and what is the reason? Also, from the database that we got from Cargo, it had it was an analysis across 6 airlines: the Vistera, the Air India, Indigo, Festgo, the Air Asia, and SpaceJet. So we wanted to know, okay, out of these 6 airlines that are operating in India, which one is preferred and why are they using, one above the other? It was ascertained that the most used flight is actually Vistera from the analysis here. Then the most city, we wanted to know, okay, if I want to move from one city to the other, which of these flights, or which of these routes would be easier to navigate? So that's why we have this flight by city to city traffic, and it was, established that from Delhi to Mumbai, sorry, from these flight cities, Delhi is the most trafficked city. The city where if you want to, take a flight from, it's really easy from there because the traffic is higher there. So for the route, we also ascertain that from Delhi to Mumbai is the highest route because they cover out of about 100%, they cover about 21.6, yeah, 21.6% of the whole flight travels. Let's say you're having about 300,152 flights that happened within this period, and 21%, a really huge chunk of that number, left from Delhi to Mumbai. So it really would influence my travel if I want to embark on something in India, and if time is not on my side and I really want to get to my intended destination early. Okay, there's a flight delay. Which other city would I be very sure that I would be able to find? So you just connect from that city and then you get to your preferred destination. We also wanted to check if the time where you book your flight would affect how much. Obviously, it does. But then we wanted to understand the days. Does it mean that if I book my flight 1 week to my time of travel, would it significantly increase, my fare price? From this one, we were able to discover that if I book my flight at least 11 days to the time I'm supposed to travel, it will actually reduce my flight fare significantly. Then the days break down here as well. If you book, we already know these facts already. If we book 1 or 2 days, so it will maybe be double the price of what you would have used to book if you had booked like several days before this time. So the last one here is we wanted to know the time of flight that is really the most effective so that when you're pitching this before the stakeholders, you're able to tell them, okay, maybe if you strategize or if you put in more workforce within this time frame because of the traffic that takes place within the what's it called, the airport and the route for this travel, we should be able to maximize the amount of travel success that we have, thereby also maximizing our profit margin. So it was discovered from this analysis that morning flight is actually the most used, the most effective, followed by the very early morning flight. So early hours of the day, let's say before dawn. So evening flight actually came third as well, but not as effective as morning flight. Though the numbers are not really significantly different, but we are able to know that okay, the most effective time where you would get really more traction into people or passengers boarding the airplane from one city to the other in India is actually the morning hour. So from our dashboard here, we also, as I said earlier, that the most used, sorry, the mistake is from my end, but the most used according to our analysis here is Vistera. The most frequent route is from Delhi to Mumbai. The most boarded class is economy, obviously, because it's cheaper. Then the peak time for flight effectiveness is the morning hours of the day. The next slide, please. So what next? It's really amazing that I came into I came into data analysis space out of enthusiasm. I'm actually in the medical line, but most of the time they present, and I just saw this opportunity, jumped at it, and I've really been able to learn a lot. And because of this eye opener, I really want to be able to learn more on Power BI and SQL and how I can become a better analyst with all of the knowledge that I'll be able to gather within this time frame. I also said I would also love to connect with others as our speaker, Miss Tina, rightly mentioned. It's really been a desire since I started learning this to connect with other people and learn from their wealth of experience. And if there are opportunities to also learn, even if it will require that I pay to get the knowledge, I would really love that. Then lastly, the main aim of going into data analysis is to have another stream of income to assist what I'm making right now. It's not like no good, but then there's really more to do with more cash actually. So that's one of the aims of the next step I would love to take, where I'm having gigs from different people. So for key insight, the most effective route, as we saw on the dashboard, is from Delhi to Mumbai with the highest traffic. The most used airline, surprisingly, is this Terra, the space jet. Yes, sorry, that's a mistake. Despite being the most used, has the okay. I would have to check for this data, please. Then economy class preference, doubles up to about 68%, 68.85% of the total flights that you have within the time of flight, making it the most used because obviously it's price and sensitive. So if you're maybe putting it before the board of directors, they would know how to make sure that the prices within these airlines are really customer friendly, so that we have maybe even spread, or the traffic won't just be on one flight alone. The next slide, please. So key recommendations: promote advanced booking early, encourage early ticket purchases by offering discounts or incentives, as fares are much lower when booked 11 days in advance. Also, we are saying that we have to optimize morning flight operation, since morning is the peak travel time. Allocate more aircraft and crew to this window to meet demands and avoid delays. Also, we want to focus on high traffic routes, prioritize services and promotion on the Delhi Mumbai route, the most frequently traveled, to maximize revenue. And also, lastly, to expand economy class offerings with over 68% of passengers choosing economy, and also to enhance the service class with competitive pricing and improve comfort to attract more travelers. Next slide, please. In conclusion, the analysis reveals that Delhi to Mumbai is the most frequently traveled route, with economy class being the most preferred by passengers, and morning flight sees the highest traffic, and fare prices tend to be significantly lower when booked well in advance. These insights can help airline optimize scheduling, pricing, and marketing strategies to better serve customer needs and improve profitability. Thank you. And that's all from me. Thank you very much, ma'am.
Thank you so much, Joseph, for that wonderful presentation. Okay, thank you so much. So now we are done with the participant showcase. We'll move on to the next slide. So beyond this bootcamp, I'll encourage you all to keep practicing. Make sure you share your project online, just like Tina said. Make sure you explore advanced tools. I don't know if you registered for that Power BI bootcamp I shared on the group. And I also want to say network. So I think it's easier for you to network with your peers than the people above you. So the people above you, they have so many people reaching out to them, and sometimes it's exhausting. But your peers, like Tina said, one of your peers can get like a gig, and let's say they need somebody extra, and they might reach out to you because you're the first person that comes to their head first. So make sure you go to the group, network, share your social media handle so that others can follow you, and just network with your peers. Make sure you stay connected to the community. Like our founder said, so many resources, so many opportunities will be shared on the community, and you might want to take advantage of that. I also want to say be part of communities, data communities. I shared some online. There are also so many out there I did not mention. So make sure you follow these communities. Most of these courses you pay for, these communities give them to you for free. So this is why being part of a community is very important. You can also share your work on those communities and you get feedbacks. And when you get feedback, please go back, work on them, refine that project. It's hard, but it just makes you better. And okay, this is time for our group photo. Like I said at the beginning of this call, we'll have to turn on our camera, and I don't know if you can see this symbol here. That's what we are going to do for the community. That's what we do in this community. So please, it's time for us to turn on our camera. I'm going to stop sharing my screen so that we can take the screenshots when we turn on our camera. So everybody, please turn on your camera. I don't know if the Power BI registration is still available, but check Tina's page, you might see it. I'm waiting for everybody. Mary Obasi, David, Ijoma, Rosemary. I'm waiting for every one of you to turn on your camera so we can take the screenshots. People are already ready, please, so we don't waste their time, okay? Joseph, Mary Obasi, Rosemary Ajezo, Cynthia, Praise. Who else am I missing out? Is David on this call? Is Cynthia Praise on this call? So you just need to turn on your camera and then we did the sign and then we take the screenshot. Okay, I think we'll just have to take the screenshot like that. So just the sign. Yeah, and then I think Eunice, can Eunice take the screenshot so that and that's easy. So thank you so much, guys, for joining. Thank you so much, guys, for joining. Now, you can turn off your camera now. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you. This brings us to the end of the call. Thank you so much, guys. Thank you so much for joining. And congratulations. So for your certificates, please check your mail. So once we've confirmed that you submitted all your assignments and you attended all your sessions, you get your certificates via mail. So this is me saying congratulations and thank you so much for an amazing 4 weeks. Bye guys. Bye everyone. Yes, you can leave the call. Thank you. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome.